Important species of biodiversity to the ecosystem. Div- Now the importance of species diversity to the ecosystem. Now loss of biodiversity. There are causes of biodiversity losses. The first one is habitat loss and fragmentation. So habitat loss and fragmentation. Second one is over exploitation, overeating. That's the overuse of anything, that is over exploitation. The alien species invasions. If alien species are introduced, these are the alien species invasions. Now fourth one is co-extinction. If they die, they die together. So this is co-extinction. So these are the causes of biodiversity losses. Under the loss of biodiversity, causes of biodiversity losses: habitat loss and fragmentation, over exploitation, alien species invasions, and co-extinctions. Now biodiversity conservation. So why should we conserve biodiversity? So biodiversity conservation. So why should we conserve biodiversity? Three types of reasons. First one is narrowly utilitarian. So that's the first one, that's kind of direct benefit. Now second is broadly utilitarian. So this is kind of indirect benefits from ecosystem. Now third one is the ethical argument. What is that? So it's kind of philosophical or spiritual. So this is ethical argument for conserving biodiversity. So ethical argument. Now how do we? So we know why should we conserve biodiversity, because three reasons. First one is utilitarian biodiversity broadly, and then ethical argument. Now how do we conserve biodiversity? So how we can achieve this? So first one is the in situ conservation. To conserve within the biodiversity, there is term that is endemism. What is that? Now it is about the species. So species confined to that region and not found anywhere else, that's the endemism. Okay, that's the endemism. Now it is found in biodiversity hotspots. So endemism, the species not found anywhere else, that's the term endemism. What about the sacred groves in the in situ conservation? So sacred groves, these are found in Kasi and Jainital hills in Meghalaya, Arbori hills of Rajasthan. So these are the sacred groves. In many cultures, tracts of forest were set aside, and all the trees and wildlife within were venerated and given total protection. These are termed as sacred groves. Now, ex situ conservation. Ex situ conservation, there is zoological, botanical gardens. Now the exercises. Name the three important components of biodiversity. Name the three important components of biodiversity. How do ecologists estimate the total number of species present in the world? Give three hypotheses for explaining why tropics show greatest levels of species richness. Tropic levels. What is the significance of the slope of regression in a species area relationship? What are the major causes of species losses in a geographical region? What are the major causes of species losses in a geographical region? How is biodiversity important for ecosystem functioning? How is biodiversity important for ecosystem functioning? What are sacred groves? What is their role in conservation? This kind of tribe people, the sacred groves, they conserve, given total protection to forest and wildlife within that region. Among the ecosystem services are control of floods and soil erosion. How is this achieved? By biotic components of the ecosystem. Among the ecosystem services are control. Among the ecosystem services are control of floods and soil erosion. How is this achieved? By the biotic components of the ecosystem. The species diversity of plants is 22%, which is much less than that of animals, 72%. What could be the explanations to how animals achieved greater diversification? So species diversity of plants is 22%, is much less than that of animals, 72%. What could be the explanations to how animals achieve greater Diversification. Can you think of a situation where we deliberately want to make a species extinct? How would you justify it? Can you think of a situation where we deliberately want to make a species extinct? How would you justify it? So this is the chapter, that is biodiversity conservation. Biodiversity and conservation.